In the United States, we have become incredibly wealthy and incredibly powerful, mainly due to our economic model of capitalism. But that's not the only economic theory or economic model out there. Other countries, you may have heard, are communist. Some of them are socialist. Others, like us, are capitalist. And in today's lesson, we're going to be exploring the foundation of all of those. And we're going to answer the lesson question of how did the Industrial Revolution lead to new economic theories? Let's get started with this lesson. The overarching lesson goal today is to learn about economic theories. But in order to succeed at this goal, we first want to be able to describe the characteristics of capitalism. Secondly, we want to identify the characteristics of socialism. And 3, explain Karl Marx's idea of communism. Also to help us achieve these goals is our knowledge of these words to know. Your academic words are exploit and minority. And your domain-specific words, or lesson-specific words, are capitalism, laissez-faire, means of production, proletariat, and finally, socialism. At any time, you can look up these words in your glossary and use those to help you further your understanding of the topic. But like I said, make sure you keep your eyes open for these words as we go through this lesson together. Let me draw your attention to the lesson question, which is at the top of the screen. It says, how did the Industrial Revolution lead to new economic theories? Well, we've obviously got to look at these economic theories. We'll start first by looking at what we have in the United States, capitalism. Then we're going to look at the development of socialism and how socialism led to the development of communism. And by looking at all of these, we'll definitely be able to answer that lesson question. During the Industrial Revolution, there was massive numbers, millions of people who migrated from the farms into the cities. Once they got to the cities, millions of them were able to find jobs and able to work hard, and there was a growth of prosperity. Entrepreneurs invested their money in new ideas and grew their wealth. They hired new workers. The story of rags to riches became very popular, especially in the United States, where money was not tied to you owning property or to your family. Now anyone in the United States can make any amount of money that they desire. And so you also see that labor or people working became a source of wealth. However, during this time period, not everyone became wealthy. Not everyone was successful. And because of that, you see new economic theories trying to explain why not all people were succeeding, and trying to find a new economic theory to ensure that perhaps maybe more people could succeed. And we're going to be exploring many different economic models, such as capitalism, socialism, as well as communism. Back to our lesson question, scholars. It's at the top of the screen. It says, how did the Industrial Revolution lead to new economic theories? Well, we just saw how the Industrial Revolution had a huge impact on the economy. And it was mainly driven by the ideas of capitalism. And that's what we're going to start with first. In the United States, we ascribe to the economic theory of capitalism, which is based on two main ideas. One is private ownership, and 2 is on the free market, or free enterprise. Let's start by looking at private ownership. What capitalism stresses is that the means of production meaning farms or factories or businesses, are owned by individuals, the people who run that company. So if you want to start a company that makes really high quality shoes, that will be your company. You own it, not the government. It is your company, your workers work for you. That's what we mean in private ownership. Also, the second aspect is the free market or free enterprise. What this stresses is that supply, the amount of your shoes being produced, and demand, the amount of people who want to buy your shoes, determine which goods, which shoes, the red ones, the blue ones, the black ones, and how many, 50 of them, 60 of them, 150 of them, are produced. Those will work together. It won't be mandated by the government saying, you Johnny will have to make 50 shoes and you will have to make 50 green shoes. That's not how it works. Also, supply and demand, they determine the wages and the prices. So what this says is that there's an agreement between you being the boss of your shoe company and Frankie, who works for you. There's an agreement between you and Frankie saying, I will pay you X number of dollars, and you, Frankie, will give me X number of hours to work. Also in prices. Finally, the government's role in the economy is extremely minimal. It's almost hands-off. And all of these come from this man right here, Adam Smith, who is regarded as one of the most influential economists in history, especially with his writing, The Wealth of Nations, which went for and ascribed to capitalism. And he focused and promoted laissez-faire, or hands-off, or leave-it-alone capitalism, meaning the government should take the most minimal role in the economy. You can see that his Wealth of Nations book set out three main goals. The first was self-interest, the second was competition, and the third, that idea of laissez-faire. Let's focus on self-interest first. What Adam Smith said is that individuals, you and I, and businesses, your company that makes shoes, want what benefits them most. You want your shoe company to make more money than the rival shoe company. So you want to make a better shoe than this company. It's self-interested. You want what's best for you. I want what's best for me. The second part was competition. Businesses will compete to make their prices attractive. You're making your shoes, and you make a really good shoe, and you can make it for the shoe to cost $90 each. But this business over here can make a decent shoe, but they're charging $100. That competition, this business will have to make a better shoe cheaper, or he's going to go, or she is going to go out of business because you're making a better shoe for cheaper. It's competition, and you're trying to make your price attractive. The third part is laissez-faire. This says that the government should not set prices or wages. You should have an agreement with your employees, and you should set your own price. You can make a lot of money buying or selling $90 shoes. The government should not say, nope, you have to sell them for $50. And there should be no barriers to trade. If you want to trade your shoes, or if you want to send your shoes to Asia or to South America, there should be no barriers. And these are the main tenets of capitalism that we've just been speaking about, scholars. Now that we're speaking about Adam Smith, it just makes sense to take a look at a passage from his book, The Wealth of Nations, which was written in 1776. First, I'm going to break this into three different parts, but the first part, let's just read it together. It says, "It is not from the benevolence of the butcher, the brewer, or the baker that we expect our dinner, but from their regard for their own self-interest." Well, that's kind of an interesting passage. Remember, it was written hundreds of years ago, so it has some old English in it. So whenever we break down a passage and we're analyzing the text to clarify the main idea, let's first make sure we understand the words we may not have a strong grasp of. There are three words I've identified here. The first is benevolence, and benevolence means goodness. It's not from the goodness of the butcher. It's not because they're a nice guy. That's what benevolence is talking about. The second word I've identified is a brewer. A brewer is someone who makes beer. So it's saying it's not because of the goodness, it's not because the butcher is a nice guy or the person who makes beer is a nice guy. The third one is self-interest. When we're speaking about self-interest, we're talking about best for you. So let's read it together. It's not from the goodness of the butcher or the person who makes beer or the baker that we expect our dinner, but it is from their regard for what is best for them. That's what this passage is talking about. So now that we've identified some of the key words, let's try to put it all together. But we notice by we're looking at this, we can actually divide this text into two different parts. So let's do that now. The second thing, we need to restate the phrases or sentences in your own words. So let's break this two parts into our own words. Here it is right here. We do not expect a business owner to just give us something to eat. That's from this first part. It is not from the benevolence of the butcher, the brewer, or the baker that we expect our dinner. So putting it in our own words, this is what it's talking about. Then the second part, which is right here, that one's talking about we know that the owner expects something in return. Here's the big idea. When we're trying to clarify the main idea is that this is the core of capitalism. Is that if you have a company, you can't just walk in there and expect them to give you something. They want something in return. Usually, they want money. So if you go to buy a new electronic, an iPad or an iPhone or something like that, they expect you to pay them money. And the people who work there, they want to find a job that pays them the most. So they will go to a company, or you'll go to a company and say, hey, I want to work for you. How much are you willing to pay me? Well, if Company A is going to pay you this amount of money, but Company B is going to pay you this amount of money, you may want to work for Company B because they will pay you more. The same is with the actual companies. The companies want you to work the hardest you can for them. You can't be expected to just show up at a job and show up late and not do any work and stay employed there. You'll get fired, unfortunately. So that's the key thing about capitalism, is that the companies, they expect workers to work hard for them, but the workers also expect to be paid for their labor. There's no such thing as a free lunch. You may have heard that. And that right there is sort of the big idea, the main idea behind this passage, as well as the broader idea of capitalism, which was introduced by Adam Smith. Capitalism and democracy go together. They're kind of like peanut butter and jelly, two peas in a pod, if you will. Remember, the Declaration of Independence says you have the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And many times that pursuit of happiness involves the right to own your own property, or the right to get a job that pays a good amount of money. You have these rights of the individual. Also, the Constitution, our democracy, lays out a limited role for the national government. Also, capitalism and democracy many times will advocate for free trade. So you can see how there's a unity between capitalism and democracy. However, during the time period that we're studying in the Industrial Revolution, there were many problems with laissez-faire capitalism. And without some government regulation, businesses were free to make as much profit as possible with little concern for society. And you can see that here, where there were vast inequalities between the factory owners and the people who worked in the factories. Many companies would use unfair business practices. Often, workers were exploited or worked for 16 hours a day. That is entirely too long for especially a young child, which was sometimes the case, to be worked. So many times these conditions were unsafe, and oftentimes no one was there to help someone who was unemployed or those killed or injured on the job. And because of these problems during the Industrial Revolution, it led to other economic theories being developed to sort of try to solve some of these issues. Wonderful work, scholars. You finished the first part of the lesson. On to the next part. I'm really proud of you. Great job. Let's take a look at that lesson question again, which is at the top of the screen. How did the Industrial Revolution lead to new economic theories? Well, recall, in the first part, we looked at capitalism, which is what we have in the United States, and it was started by Adam Smith, especially by his book, A Wealth of Nations. In this next part, we're going to be looking at socialism as well as communism. So let's look at that next. Before we talk about socialism or communism, I want to briefly touch on the idea of utopianism. Here we see reformer Robert Owen, who tried to create a model factory society, and he based his ideas on utopian ideals. And in this factory, he built schools and housing for the workers, and he also improved the living conditions. So it was much different from other factories that were being built during this time period. And he built this factory in New Lanark in Scotland. You can see it right here, these various factory buildings. And he thought, well, if this is working in Scotland, why don't I try it in the United States, this idea of utopianism? And he founded the town of New Harmony in the U.S. Unfortunately, utopianism never worked in the United States, and it never worked as an economic theory either. But a different theory that had greater credence for a lot of people during this time period was this idea of socialism. And in this idea of socialism, you had the distribution of wealth, where the country's wealth would try to be equally distributed among society. And this would be done by a much more powerful government, because the government would control the means of production. And they would do this by owning factories. They wouldn't own just factories. The government would actually own railroads, mines, and other key industries. And this was much different. In fact, it was the total opposite of capitalism, where in capitalism you have private citizens, like you and me, for example, owning a company and us hiring workers. But in socialism, you have the government owning all those factories. So again, these ideas, this capitalism as well as socialism, many of the advocates for both would be butting heads about this for many years to come. The economic theory of communism began with this man, Karl Marx, who was a German philosopher, a political theorist, a sociologist, and a revolutionary. Kind of a jack of all trades. He did a little bit of everything. And he also developed the theory of communism. He did this with the help of British reformer Friedrich Engels when they wrote the Communist Manifesto in 1848. Now this man, Karl Marx, is one of the most important economic theorists during this time period. In fact, throughout human history. Now he advocated for a communist revolution. And this is how it works. One, he thought, is that the workers would rise up. They would unite to defeat the capitalists, the people who had set up the factory owners. So all the workers in the factory would rise up against the people who owned the factories. Then, once they had risen up, the workers would take control of those factories. And those workers would produce what society needs, and they would share the profits equally. They would attempt to share the profits equally. The next steps is that the workers, after taking control of the factories, they would control the government, creating a dictatorship of the proletariat. This idea of the proletariat are the working class. So it would be a dictatorship of the working class, not really a one leader in charge like you see in World War II with Adolf Hitler. After they had taken control of the government, they would create a classless society would develop, where everyone would have economic equality. However, in practice, communism, this does not happen, and in fact, the economic wealth is still becomes centralized among the Communist Party elites, and you see examples of this in Cuba, for example. By 1900, the socialists in Europe were an influential minority, or below 50% of the population, and they were a minority voice in European politics. They generally supported more moderate reforms than those proposed by Karl Marx. They proposed things like a minimum wage, better working conditions, more time off, less hours worked, things like that. Now, in capitalist societies today, like in the United States, there is some regulation of the economy. In fact, many of them are called mixed economies, where it is not 100% of a laissez-faire or hands-off. So in the United States, we do have some government agencies that protect worker safety. Also other agencies that represent this. For example, the National Labor Relations Board is one of those. They also have laws that protect the environment. And finally, there is a minimum wage laws that protect workers. Take a look at this picture right here. You may have seen a picture earlier of factory workers without gloves, without hard hats, without any bit of protection. Now look at this modern day photo of people touring this construction site. You see hard hats. You also see reflective vests. So you see various aspects of protection that have been instituted by various government regulations. So the big takeaway here is that there's no 100% laissez-faire government in the United States today. It is a mixed economy of both. Here's a timeline that really allows you to see the new economic theories. And they all began because of the Industrial Revolution, which led to, in 1776, Adam Smith publishing The Wealth of Nations and advocating for capitalism. Then, in 1848, you see Karl Marx publishing the Communist Manifesto. Now, the Communist Manifesto was written all during the revolutions that were taking place in Europe, so sort of capitalizing on those revolutions. But we see that in Great Britain, they sort of headed off those revolutions with the passage in 1833 of the Factory Acts, which became law in Great Britain. So you can kind of see here, by looking at this timeline, a number of the different things that we spoke about in this lesson, scholars.